Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 1st. This week, you have this card that says, go the distance, and you have this thinker card as well. So if there's something you want to accomplish that you're thinking about accomplishing, I would go for it. Even the Seven of Wands here, your first card, the Seven of Wands says that when you know that something is going to be successful for you, that's when it is successful, or that's when it will be successful, when you believe something so deeply that there is no other way than for you to do it. So, that's what I would do here with that Seven of Wands for sure, is, I would focus on your belief in making sure that you're almost, brainwashing yourself into success. You have the Seven of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the Temperance card. Some of you could be healing from something. You have Five of Swords, and you also have the Five of Wands going up to the Tower here. So, this could be you. Maybe you tried to fix a relationship. This right here. Let me just back up a little bit here, Libra. This kind of gives me the vibes of trying to fix something and then it not working out, which is fine. I think it's always worth trying to, fix a connection, or, especially if it's special to you or whatever, or it's, worth trying to put the work in. And, so I feel that here, where it's maybe you tried to fix something and it didn't work out, but it's now you're finding true love. So I wouldn't even worry about it, even if it, especially if this was love or if this was a connection. Also, I think that we're going to see a lot of global tower moments. You cannot make this shit up. Literally, I am on camera saying, before the whole royal family thing, all the stuff going on with the royal family, I'm like, I bet something's going to go down with the royal family because Tower keeps coming up, and then boom, a bunch of stuff has come out with them. Also, I said something was going to collapse, that bridge collapsed. So we're just going to see more global tower moments. It is what it is. But you have the Seven of Wands. The more you believe in something, the better. The Seven of Wands is also about putting up boundaries. So I would make sure that you learned what boundaries to set, because of a past person, with that Five of Swords to the Temperance card. So maybe there were certain things that you didn't look at, or certain things that, you didn't pay attention to. We've all done it, but, I would say moving forward, I would pay attention. You have the Five of Swords again. Five of Swords can represent conflict and, some sort of conflict or a breakup or a separation. You have the Five of Wands, which is conflict and competition, but they both kind of represent conflict. This guy has won, but he's won at all costs. He has lost friends, or, something. The Five of Swords, it's he's won, but it's not, it's kind of like a shallow victory, because he's lost things, or, bad things have happened, or people are walking away from him on the card as well. The other way to look at the Five of Swords is that all three of these guys are the same person. So you could look at the card and say that these are him at three stages of battle. In the first one, he's in complete grief. He has learned, he is he's grieving the loss of something in this first backstage. In the next stage, he's learned how to walk away from things. And in the last stage, he's learned how to have a victory after some sort of separation or a breakup or whatever he's been through. So he's learned how to get the gold from what he's been through. And again, I always say one of my favorite quotes of all time is, at the end of pain is success. It's from Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. And so, it kind of reminds, that quote always reminds me that to get the gold for what you've been through, it's don't just go through something and get nothing for it, right? At the end of pain is success. So you better get something out of the lessons that you've learned. You have the Temperance card. Again, I just get this energy of having tried to fix something that turned into a tower moment. I think this has already happened, but again, I would say, what did you learn from it? The gold is what you learn from it, so that you not only you don't repeat it, but you can avoid it in the future. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Three of Wands. Again, a lot of Three of Wands this week, which doesn't really surprise me. Three of Wands, card of expansion and growth. Also, we have Jupiter this summer in June entering into Gemini, and you are an air sign, so, that will affect you more. And, having Jupiter kind of in an air sign could be extra beneficial for you, or, could lead to more success, or whatever the case may be. With the Five of Swords, you have the Knight of Wands here. Could be an inconsistent person that you moved away from. I also kind of get the feeling of a person who just has a lot of secrets. They were very secretive, and I feel like you're not here for that. So, that could be why this came to an end, is maybe this person kept too many secrets or wouldn't open up about things or whatever. With the Temperance card, you have two cards here. You have the Eight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. Eight of Cups is walking away from things that no longer serve you, and it's also the only card in the tarot that has an eclipse on it. We just had that eclipse in Libra. So, again, eclipses last for 6 months. So you could still be dealing with that energy. Knight of Pentacles says that you are ready to make progress in a new direction. He needs to plant seeds in that field behind him, and it really just says to me that you are ready to kind of plant seeds in a new direction, like I said. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this card that says, Dog Spirit says, be loyal to what you love. Yes, it's definitely time to be loyal to what you love. You have this Bat Spirit says, a rebirth is assured. So I feel for a lot of you that it's time for you to experience some sort of rebirth, or it would be a good time to go through a rebirth. And again, with that eclipse, definitely, you have the Tower. Even the Tower, I look at, personally, I like the Tower. As I always say, I don't know why everybody, I think the Tower gets a bad rap. It's like those people have been ignoring reality in the Tower. They're being brought back down to reality. How is that a bad thing? And they're also, the Tower always only gets reduced down to its foundation. So you always rebuild the Tower stronger. So I think that it is time for like a rebirth. You have the Page of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Sun. The Page of Wands, just ready for a new adventure, ready to go explore new things. By the way, I also do feel that there's clearly new love coming in for you if you want love. And you have the Four of Wands, which is marriage. But this person definitely could be a fire sign. You always get fire with me. It could be fire or earth is showing up here as well. So, it could be any sign, general reading. But fire and earth always stand out to me for you. You have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is conflict and competition. I used to call the Five of Wands Indiana Jones because to me, it's a card of like going on some sort of crazy adventure to get some sort of reward in your life. And I do feel like you have been on a crazy adventure. And again, it's time for you to get the rewards for what you've been through. But, I feel like it's almost like you have to harvest those rewards. You actually have to harvest those rewards is what this is. It's like I wish I had a good example for you, but it's almost like, people say to me all the time how they're never going to date again because some bozo in the past hurt them. And I was like, okay, great. That person is now living your life for you. So congratulations. Someone else is living your life and controlling your life. Right. And number two, that just says you didn't learn anything from what you went through. So, getting your gold from that would be dating a person or a new person or meeting a new person that's actually a good person, because good people exist. There are plenty of them. And again, to get the gold from it, it would be you dating a new person, right? If you were hurt in the past and saying, this is what I learned. This is what I'm going to avoid. And also, by the way, getting the gold from it is if you do date a bozo, someone, you pay attention. You say, no, this person's a bozo. They did exactly what my past person does. So I'm out. Right? So that is also getting the gold. But, I feel like the Five of Wands is saying you need to start going out and having a good time or doing something. This doesn't have to be love, by the way. This could be work or business. Maybe you had a failure. And the Five of Wands is saying you have to take a risk again. You have the Sun. The Sun is a card of happiness, joy. Best card in the tarot, makes the whole entire reading more positive. And I do feel like there could be a lot of happiness and joy coming in for you. There also clearly could be a Leo coming in for you. Leo, you have the Four of Wands. You also have this Emperor, which has a lion head on it. Yes, I understand that the Emperor is Aries. I totally understand that. But I'm just saying, right, that it has a lion head on it. Could be a Leo, right? So, use your imagination. With the Page of Wands, you have the Tower. I feel like someone doesn't want you to do something, is what this is. I feel it now with the Page of Wands there. This kind of makes me feel like you're creating a Tower moment for someone else. Doesn't have to be a lover. Could be friends, family, a boss. Maybe a boss doesn't want you to quit your job or something like that. And, the Tower is kind of like things collapsing, but the Page of Wands is about, going on a new adventure. With the Five of Wands, you have the Four of Wands, marriage, and you have the Four of Wands twice. You have this card twice. Whenever we have a bunch of repeating cards in a reading, it's basically the universe saying I meant what I said. So, there you go. But the Four of Wands, can be marriage, but it can also represent being set free or freedom. The Four of Wands kind of represents needing to complete one thing so that you can move on to something else. So these people are on the other side of this portal here, and it kind of represents needing to cross through the portal, needing to get to the other side so that you can have like a celebration. With the Sun, you have the Hierophant. The Hierophant can represent marriage, of course, so some of you could be getting married or meeting a person that you could marry if you want love. I also feel like some of you could just be, it's kind of like you're being blessed at this time. He's making the symbol right here with his hands. He's blessing these people in front of him. So I do feel that the Sun with the Hierophant can sometimes just represent like blessings or receiving blessings that you deserve. So I like to see that. One thing I will say though is that usually like the blessing we receive from the Hierophant is education. Again, there's a lot of that in this reading. So, there's a lot of like lessons or having learned something or needing to explore what you've learned. And I think that's going to lead to a lot of success for you is if you look at the lessons, but you also learn about your lessons. You have this Sacred Reverence card and this Bearing Fruit card. So I do feel like you could be kind of, protecting your heart at this time. I also feel like you need to be loyal to what you love, is what this is saying, There are certain, and you have that dog spirit that literally says, be loyal to what you love. So there are things that your heart is telling you to do, and I think you need to do those things. That's where you're going to get the abundance. The Bearing Fruit card is amazing. It's a lot of abundance and success coming in for you. It also says the things that you've been working on are going to start growing or producing a result. So definitely very good. You have the Tower, the Strength card, and the Eight of Pentacles. Again, I feel like we're going to see plenty of Tower moments at this time. More. It's just going to heat up as we move through the summer and, definitely get into the fall and, so on and so forth. We're in a time of chaos until like 2033. The peak is around like 2025. So soon, it's like we're getting to the end of the, chaotic energy, I would say. Although I don't think it's going to get, I think it's going to be, kind of like going down until 2033, if that makes sense. But it is what it is. I think we're in a time where things are breaking and we need to focus on building better ideas, building new things. And again, this isn't going to come from the government. This is going to come from little old you and me. We're going to be the ones that fill the world with our better ideas. So that don't have to do with injecting us with microchips in our brains and that where we can control computers or some shit like that. That's what I would be avoiding, is the microchip in the brain or anything like that, right? So fill the world with your better ideas. You have the Strength card. The Strength card is about being strong, of course. The Strength card can also represent a display of strength. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be very strong at this time. And I also feel like people could be seeing you as being very strong. She has her hands in that lion's mouth. And I always say, who in the right mind would stick their hands in a lion's mouth? And the answer is nobody. So I feel for a lot of you, people could be seeing you as being very strong. You have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is kind of about like putting in the work. It's also a card of results. Eight of Pentacles is about kind of like mastering a craft. And I feel for a lot of you that, again, this whole entire reading is saying you're getting results for the hard work that you've done, or you're getting results for the things that you've been through. Also, another card of learning. It's a card of mastery. It's a card of mastering a craft. It's a card of apprenticeship, by the way. The Hierophant also represents apprenticeship. He has 3 levels to his crown, and those 3 levels represent like initiation, apprenticeship, and mastery. So again, a lot of you could be kind of like mastering a craft or learning something new. And the Eight of Pentacles would say that you're finding, or you will be successful with whatever you're learning. With the Tower, you have the Knight of Swords. No rushing, no sky is falling energy. There's a lot of sky is falling energy where, people could be telling you, rushing into your life, telling you the sky is falling, that something bad is happening in your life or to you. And I always say, like, just slow it down with the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords says, don't jump to conclusions, don't rush, especially during a Mercury retrograde as well. I mean, the information you might be getting might not be clear. And I've been seeing a lot of this where it's like, people could rush into your life and be like, oh my God, I heard you're going to get fired. Or, I heard that your boyfriend's going to break up with you or something like that. So again, if you're getting information from a person that's like a third party that, and I'm not talking about a third party, I'm talking about another person, like telephone game type of thing going on here. No telephone game, right? Just slow it down. Don't freak out and go directly to the source is what I would say with the Knight of Swords. Because again, usually, and it doesn't even say that the people that are coming to you are doing this maliciously either. It just says that they might not have all the facts. They might just not understand all the details. With the Strength card, you have the Star. Amazing. We definitely want to have the Star after a Tower moment. The Star literally represents healing from a Tower. So I do feel a lot of you could be healing from the Tower. This could also be really good for attention. So if you do anything that involves getting attention or standing out, the Star is, of course, an amazing energy for that. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Lovers. Definitely could be love coming in for you. We go this way here, Four of Wands. We go this way here, Hierophant, Sun. We go this way here, Four of Wands. So there could be a very strong connection coming in for you. The Lovers kind of would represent like a new person. It would also represent maybe stepping off on a new path to meet a new person. So if you're looking for love, I feel that this could be like a new connection or a newer connection that's coming in for you. And I feel like it's something that's going to be very supportive for you, very good for you. So, love it. Looks amazing. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Love card and this Emperor card. So I feel like there is, and look, there's a lion on this Love card. So, I feel for a lot of you, definitely could be a Leo, or it could just be a person who has Leo in their chart. I'm also getting that it could just be a person who is very positive. Like, I get a lot of positive energy off of this person. You have the sun and the star as well. The sun and the star can represent fame and fortune. It doesn't say that this person is necessarily famous, but, I kind of get that light around this person. You could be attracting a person who has a lot of light. The other interesting thing that's popping into my head here as well is I kind of feel like you see this person as nice, which normally maybe would be a turnoff for you, but it's like they're nice in a different way is kind of what's popping into my head. Like, I understand not wanting to, date someone who's like too nice, like creepy nice, right? But this is different. Like, I feel like this person has teeth, like a lion. It's like, yeah, they're nice, but they can also take care of business if it gets to that point. So, I think it's just a person who has, this is a very different person that you're attracting. I feel like they're very much in control. I feel like they have like a silent confidence. Maybe that's what it is, right? It's like there are people who are confident, but they have a lot of bark, I feel like this person has a silent confidence, even to the point where maybe, you don't think this person is very strong or whatever, but I think there are little things that will happen where you're like, wow, like, this person actually is very confident, is very bold, is very assertive, So it's like, you never know. Right? It's like, I'm sure you've all seen that, I'm sure you've all had that like little friend that is like a fighter, right? All of a sudden that can fight someone 10 times their size as well. So kind of like a David and Goliath type of energy here, if that makes sense. So there you go. You have the Four of Wands, the Ten of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. The Four of Wands, of course, can be marriage. So like I said, if you're meeting this person, you could be marrying them. Four of Wands, also a card of freedom. It's really a card of needing to set yourself free. So I feel that the Four of Wands says that you need to kind of like go complete one thing so that you can have something else. And that could be a part of the Tower moment, needing to completely release a tower so you can have something better. You have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is kind of like about releasing burdens. Ten of Wands, this person here is carrying all these burdens on their back, and they need to release those burdens. They need to let those things go. So I feel for a lot of you, this is about needing to release your burdens so that you can find more success. You have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is about feeling left out in the cold and needing to come into the warmth, right? These Five Pentacles exist up here, but the Five of Pentacles says do not call attention to your weaknesses. This is showing up in the area of the good stuff. So again, I feel for a lot of you, you're actually coming out of the cold. You're feeling the warmth. Like I said, you have the sun here, the star. You have those two Leo cards kind of right at the end there. So it looks really good. With the Four of Wands, you have the Justice card. You showing up in a very strong position. Whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength, really allows you to get what you want from the reading. So definitely you showing up. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Two of Pentacles, definitely some sort of reward after hard work. All three air signs were kind of about getting a reward after hard work, Libra. So definitely could be that going on here with the Two of Pentacles. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Five of Cups. Again, the Five of Cups would normally represent like regrets or sadness or grieving, but again, it's coming up in the area of the good stuff. So I would say that the opposite is happening here, that you are kind of like, finding happiness, or you're turning around. The solution to the Five of Cups is to turn around and be grateful for what you do have, these two cups, and you get this bridge and the castle. But again, showing up in the good stuff, it would tell me that you're getting the bridge and the castle. Like, you have turned around. You are, more focusing on the good stuff, or you're focusing at least in the right direction there. So love it. That looks amazing. You have this Scissors card, says disappointment in some affair. Every single reading, literally every single reading I've done this week, there's been some sort of disappointment. So I don't know. There's going to be some sort of disappointment this week for everybody. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It could be anything. I really feel I think the disappointment that everyone is experiencing right now is that things are not the way they used to be. It's like, and I also think there could be a lot of, I think there could be people could be getting triggered on things that they feel like they missed out on, for example, as well. It's like, I always tell people that, like, my dad had a super nerd friend that told him about Bitcoin in like 2011 or somewhere around there. And my dad told me about it. And I remember thinking like, wow, that's a really interesting idea. And it was like $8 per Bitcoin at the time. Right. And, again, I regret that one every single day of my life. Right. Because I definitely could have at least bought a few. And, I regret that. So there you go. And his friend is probably living on some freaking yacht somewhere at this point. So there you go. You have this beetle card. It says good fortune on it. So clearly you are increasing your fortunes, or your fortunes are increasing in some way. You have this torch card. It says spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. Love it. So I think you are developing new understandings at this time. You have this lightning card. It says, control your anger or you will be sorry. Tower, no outburst. Remember what I was saying about Knight of Swords? No, telephone game type of thing here. But I would also say, like, no sudden outburst or kind of control your anger. You have this bird perch. It says, waiting for news, package, or a letter. I do feel like there's good news coming in for you. You have this career card as well. Definitely improvements in your career. I think that your career has been a challenge for a while. Since, probably that would be since like 2016, 2015, somewhere around there. Since that time, I think you've had certain challenges. Probably in being able to get something you actually want. That's like the challenge for Libra. Has been the challenge, I think, is actually being able to have a career that you want. Just that simple. And luckily that's changing now, so really good. But this looks great, so thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.